people, I'm Ginny Metheral and I am a fourth generation witch, and I'm here today to talk to you about the use of pendulums and give you a basic quick start guide, because all witchcraft needs some help in divining answers to their questions about the life, the universe and everything. And no, it's not number 42. But before we get into this video, I'd really like you to subscribe if you haven't already, so I can continue making more videos about these fascinating subjects. If you've already subscribed, I'd just like to say thank you so much. You're marvellous. And if you're thinking about subscribing, subscribe now, and then thank you so much. You're marvellous. Where to start then with pendulums? Well, first of all, you must get a pendulum. I have several. Here's one, and here is another. I have several, all of which are for different purposes. This one, for example, is very good for me when I'm being a psychic medium and talking to the dead. This one is a bit of Scottish marble, and it's very good for when I am exorcising demons. Is that rain? So rather sadly, we've had to come inside because it's raining, and I've had to stop my husband doing housework, which is the reason why I was outside to start with, because I don't think I've ever seen my husband do housework, and I was rather thrilled, and I didn't want to disturb him. Anyway, so we've come inside to continue with this video. So once you've chosen your pendulum, and may I suggest that the pendulum that you choose is going to be the right one. The reason that you choose it is because you'll have been drawn to it in some way, and therefore that should be your pendulum. It will work for you. You may have the affinity with the pendulum, or you may not. You might have an affinity with tarot cards. I don't. I just read normal playing cards, which I'm going to do a video on next week. I find it much easier than tarot cards. Tarot cards are terribly difficult, in my opinion. Well, they don't speak to me like cards do. So anyway, I'm off topic. Choose your pendulum, and that'll be the right pendulum for you. The next thing to do is to make sure you weren't outside. I know we were outside earlier, but that was just because my husband was doing the housework and I didn't want to disturb him. If you're outside, the pendulum is liable to be blown about by the air currents that are outside or whatever. Don't go outside. So first things first, how do you hold a pendulum? Well, some people hold it by draping it or curling it around their fingers like this. Some people just hold it between their thumb and forefinger. Some people, like myself, I tend to hold it sort of a bit like this. It depends how you feel comfortable, actually. What you need to do is make sure it has a loose and flowing chain. It also needs to be not too long and not too short. If you get it too short, it makes the drop and the swing very difficult to manoeuvre for anybody for some reason. If you make it too long, it makes it difficult to read. So you've got to find the perfect length for your pendulum. I would suggest that most pendulums' perfect length for holding is about that, which is what? The chain being about 6 inches. The next thing to know is how to get a response. So you will have 3 main swings on a pendulum. There is forwards and backwards, which I'm going to show you now, obviously. I mean, this is me doing it, not I'm just pushing the pendulum myself. There is side to side, which is that way. And then there is round in circles. Now, the way I use a pendulum is that my forward and back response is my yes response. My side to side response is a no response. And my round and circles response is a maybe or possibly or I don't know response. So how do you find what response your pendulum is going to have? First of all, if you've never held a pendulum before, hold your pendulum up loosely and you need to ask it a question to which there is no other answer than yes or no. For example, am I a cat? Now, I'm blatantly not a cat, and there is no way I can even be considered a cat. So I can hold my pendulum up and ask it the question. So I can say, pendulum, am I a cat? And you can see my pendulum is swinging side to side because that is my no response. Now you need to clarify this and do it again with at least 3 other questions. So I'm now going to ask my pendulum, am I a cushion? Am I a cushion, pendulum? And it's swinging side to side to say, no, I am not. So once you've got your no response, you can then look at your yes response. Your no response is going to be the opposite swing to your yes response. So if your swing was backwards and forwards, it's going to be side to side. If your swing was round this way, it might be round that way. It is always the opposite when you're doing a yes and a no response. Drill down, ask your questions. So we've established that my no is a side to side swing. We now need to establish what my yes is, just to make sure. So I'm going to ask my pendulum some yes questions. So, pendulum, do I love my cat? No, we all love my cat. I don't think my cat's very well at the moment. A bit worried about her, poor thing. So this is my yes response, which is a backwards and forwards swing, and you need to find your own. So when you found your yes and your no, and it's definitively a yes and a no swing, then you can look for your maybe swing. And a maybe swing tends to be for questions that are set in the future, because the future is not set, and there is, although a framework to the future, you have a personal choice of what happens within that framework. For example, should I pick up my pendulum and I'll say to the pendulum, pendulum, will I drink white wine this weekend? And the pendulum is going to say maybe, because I might drink white wine. I don't know. I might not. I like to drink white wine occasionally. I prefer red wine actually, but there we go. But you can see that my maybe response is a swing, because I might drink white wine this weekend and I might not. So when you've got your yes and your no response, and you've worked out your maybe response by asking some maybe questions, then you can really start to practice. So the pendulum can be used for so many things, from divining, spirit communication, spell work, looking at the future. I think I did a pregnancy test on a dog the other day. It wasn't pregnant. Bit sad, really. I'll put a list actually down in the description to have a look of all the things that you can use the pendulum for. Now, everybody on this planet has the ability to use the pendulum. And when I have given pendulums to people and coached them in how to get a yes and no response, they're always completely amazed that they can get it immediately. It is something that you can do. It is a bit like musicality. Everybody in the world can hum. They might not be in tune, but they can all hum. But only certain people can play the piano for Beethoven sonatas in the Carnegie Hall. So do continue practicing. You have got the ability. I know you have. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'll put a playlist here actually. Binge on some more witchcraft lessons so that you can really become a great witch of your time and improve your way in the craft. And I will see you in the next video. And don't forget to subscribe.